is Robin Birchall, the CEO of Serval Resources, after the company has announced the purchase agreement to acquire Kalahari Copper, gaining a major foothold in Namibia and Botswana Copper Belt. So Robin, good to be speaking to you. I know you're fresh from the Indaba. How are things?
Yeah, Mark, always a pleasure to speak to you. It was a very, very busy Indaba, probably the busiest one I've seen since maybe 2008.
Good.
And we had 36 meetings at the one-to-one across 2 days, which it sounds impossible, but we double booked ourselves a number of times. So yeah, it was amazing Indaba, to be honest.
That's really good. So the busiest since '08. I think that
Yeah,
says a lot, doesn't it, about perhaps where we are in the sector now?
yeah, absolutely. It's very, very good to see the generalists coming into the sector and realizing that our area needs capital and as you've seen in the sector recently, especially in copper, there's been a couple of large raises in Merrimack of 400 million announced this morning. So there's definitely capital available for the copper space.
Excellent. That's really good to hear. So you are positioning yourself in Botswana. I just want to show the one of the pictures that was in the RNS there. So you're saying you're really establishing the company with two large land packages here in two copper belts. But this is on Botswana. Of course, people might be familiar with Sandfire, which of course is the pink. But you've managed to acquire some land outside. So what's well, it's obvious what's attracted you to it, but do you still think there's a lot of potential there?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So Mark, just a slight correction: the pink is MMG and the green is Sandfire, and the
Okay.
Moteo and the Comacao. But yeah, I mean, look, this is just seals the deal for us of the heads of terms or the term sheet that we signed last year. We finalized everything, which allows us to go straight into the upgrade to AIM process, which is just a few weeks away now here. I mean, there will be an EGM process, but everything will be closed off in the next few weeks here. So yeah, very excited about the next period here. Share price is responding quite nicely as well, moving up. We've got a new strategic investor who has decided to make this one of their key copper exploration investments. And this land package is just really a fabulous land package. We have some of the best land in the belt. So yeah, I mean, very, very happy at the moment.
So we can see the land that you've got there. And so it sort of looks on the fringes, but I mean, is there any reason why it perhaps wasn't staked before? It still has prospectivity, I presume.
Yeah. So 232 complex and 235 complex are our primary targets, mostly because they're directly along strike from the Comacao. There has been more discoveries, and I was sitting with the Department of Mines, the Deputy Director of Exploration, and he said it seems like there's really more stuff in the upper northeast corner of the belt than there is further down in the southwest of the belt, and so
Okay.
we're in a great spot there. The other two that I would like to point out, which are really good, is 82 and 61. I can't really say anything much because we're just about to announce what our work program will be for this year. But to start with, we'll have guys in PL 61. And it really is just going to be an extension of what we did in 82 last year. So we have some catch up work that we need to do to keep the department happy,
Okay.
and then we'll get into 235 and 232 later in the year, depending on the
Okay.
amount of capital we have available. And we'd be looking to drill later in the year as well.
Okay, good. I want to talk about the drilling in a moment, but just on the overall sort of strategy here, I think you have the ambition to become a mid-cap copper and future metals development group, and you've said earlier that this supports the AIM listing. So
Correct.
what is the main strategy and focus of the company?
The main strategy and focus of the company is to extend the exploration that we have already done in both Namibia and Botswana. Namibia is a little bit further along than Botswana, so we'd like to
Okay.
have a mineral resource estimate as quickly as we can. I can't really speak as to how long that is, but we will be drilling there this year, and then we'd like to make a significant discovery in Botswana probably this year as well. And then we
Okay.
mustn't forget about the Ivory Coast, because we had quite a lot of interest from some of the gold majors, actually, interestingly, there, because they're looking for copper gold. So we will be continuing to do
Mm.
work there this year as well. So yeah, we have a very busy schedule for this year, and we'll move ourselves along through the
Good.
exploration phases, trying to get towards development.
Excellent. Good. And it's not just the copper, is it, as well? Of course, as you mentioned, gold, but also silver is there, which is quite common, a byproduct and not a bad commodity to have at this moment in time.
Yeah, well, certainly not the prices that it's been at recently. It's pretty good byproduct, and it's doing very well for MMG and for Sandfire. It's additional revenue there. So, and the government of Botswana is very happy about it because they need it to replace some of the difficulties they're having in diamonds. But I would also like to share with you and the group that we have just recently had a note published by SP Angel. Probably you can't see that, but yeah, I'd like to draw attention to that. That was out last Monday, and their mid target price for us is between 53 and 70 million US. So there is a lot of upside, according to the analysts in the stock.
I'll have a look at that and sort of see what we can pull out as the major catalyst points that they cite as perhaps making that inflection, and then we can maybe quiz you on how the company plans to hit those ones. But I'll have a read of that.
He's done a very good job, actually, Arthur, on that note. I actually was quite pleased with it.
Good. Okay. So you talked a little bit about making a major discovery and, of course, getting active on the ground. So you've said in the RNS there that you'll be setting out soon your exploration programs to evaluate priority targets. So is that the first port of call, is to actually identify where you're going to site drill rigs and go after these targets?
We should have we were talking about that yesterday on our management meeting. So they're drafting up announcements right now for us. So the first one we'll get out is on Botswana. I'm reviewing right now the program for Namibia. And then, look, we are extremely busy with the AIM process because, it's the working capital report, long form, the FPPP, the CPR, all those things are kind of coming into their final form at the moment, and we'll be publishing the admission document in the not too distant future here. So there is a lot of work going on, but we will be trying to focus on getting those announcements out in the not too distant future.
Excellent. Good. And just finally, Robin, the RNS also mentioned Andrew Bennett's joining the board as Kalahari Copper's non-exec director. So is this part of strengthening your sort of team and board in the region? Yeah,
it's also part of the agreement that because they will be a significant shareholder, Kalahari Copper, that they have the right to 2 board directors. When they stay, I think it's above 10%. But for now, they've just elected to put one on the board because we don't want to have too large a board, basically.
Good. Yeah. Excellent. Okay. Robin Birchall, CEO of Serval Resources, thank you for joining us today.
Mark, super. Always great to speak to you.
If you enjoyed this interview, then give us a thumbs up, a like or a retweet. Subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Twitter and hit that notification bell to be the first to know when we release new content. There's loads of great content on our website too, across all our programs at stockboxmedia.com. Thank you for watching.